Hey, this is Deborah Atkinson, the voice for fitness and the author of Navigating Fitness After 50, your GPS for choosing programs and professionals that you can trust. And I encourage you to do two things. One of two things. Either, if you haven't picked that book up, I'm going to leave a link for you to click on right here. So you go to my website and you can actually read a little bit more about the book. You can watch another video if you'd like to that describes the book. But if you are facing a lack of motivation about your fitness program, you've started and you've stopped, you're not alone, and you're looking for some guidance to actually pull the whole program together. In this last week, I am in Boulder, Colorado, the epitome of the fittest city, if you will, in the United States. And more people around me are probably elite athletes or training like one, even if they're not, than certainly the community I left in the Midwest, in the middle of Iowa. But what I've noticed is that there are still people around me who are over 50 who are getting poor information or who are feeling vulnerable because they've had and they've worked with fitness professionals before, but they've never actually got somebody who has sat down with them, said, you know, let's really look at what you're doing now, what you've done in the past and what's worked and what hasn't, where you want to go, what you're afraid of. Is that being hurt again, or is that aging in the way that your parents have and having to face the genetic challenges that you have from that? There's nobody who sat them down with that and then also sat them down with the idea of, here's what we're going to focus on. We need to focus on cardiovascular activity. We also need to focus on resistance training. We need to focus on mobility, or what you know as flexibility, and maintaining that. But we also need to look at your nutrition, because it comes into play in a bigger way as we age. And then we need to look at stress and sleep and what's going on with hormones, especially if you're a female, which are affected also by sleep and stress. But for females who might be premenopausal or perimenopausal, going through it, or just post, that can wreak havoc with what used to work not working anymore. So I encourage you to do one of two things. Click the link and look at the book, consider it, and realize that it's on Kindle. If you have a Kindle, great, but you can also do a Kindle app on any computer and read it for, I think the price is still $9.99. Don't quote me, because Amazon and Kindle put sales on sometimes when the author doesn't know it. Or you can read it in hard copy. And if you have read it and get it on hard copy on Amazon and tell me that you've read it and would like a free consultation, half an hour by phone, no matter where you are in the country or in the world, I would be happy to do that for you. Someone needs to quarterback and pull all the things together that give you a good program. I do coach people by phone, so that's a possibility. I would almost rather see you work with somebody physically to get involved in a regular program and help direct you to finding that right person in your neighborhood or your community. But if that's helpful, click right here. The last thing you can do is get on my active aging tips, and I will send you weekly research updates, because my inbox is exploding with research for the 50 and over crowd, because I'll bet researchers are aging too and they're more curious about it. But things that talk about really how little exercise it takes to make a difference in your sleep quality, or the fact that using power with a strength training or resistance training program actually helps decrease the risk of osteoporosis and improves your bone density more than slow and steady. So if those tips sound helpful to you, click right here, and I will see you on the other side.